Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Skyrim from Empress Sofia. Here we are. The Dungeons and Dragons group, all now in capes and, fetchingly enough, all in sunglasses. Not sure if this is really keeping with the idea of medieval fantasy, but I think you'll agree. It looks rather cheerful. Okay, so I just want to pop in and say thank you to all those that joined the stream yesterday, morning and evening, streaming all day yesterday. And we had some good talks. And one of the conversations that came up is Skyrim survival mode. Now, as a Skyrim veteran who's played through 2 playthroughs already and is a huge fan of Skyrim, to say the very least, I want to just explain why you have to play it on survival mode. Seriously, when I first thought of that idea, I was like, are you kidding me? Walking everywhere? No fast travel? No, not for me. But there's 3 things that come out of survival mode that make this game so much more enjoyable. And I'm going to go through the 3 of them now. You okay, Sophia? You want to?
I guess being a werewolf must give you unimaginable strength. Well, that's okay. I can handle you getting a bit rough with me.
Oh dear.
Not in that way, of course.
So, when Sophia shuts up, yep. Food. Never really had much use. Yes, it gave you stamina. Yes, it gave you some other very small buffs. But it actually becomes essential, obviously, in survival mode, kind of the clues in the title. But it's really fun finding the ingredients, farming the ingredients, hunting, scavenging, stealing. Food, it's great. You can shoplift food, you can make your own food, you can hunt food, you can fish. I had so much fun, especially at the beginning when you don't have any money and you have to be inventive. Just finding food, stealing from hunters, because I like to do evil playthroughs. And it really, the cooking element is so fun with the cooking pots and the ovens. There's a brilliant mod called Chris. He's a baker in Solitude, and he sells butter, flour, salt piles, all the essential things you need for cooking, because unfortunately salt piles a little hard to come by. Most alchemists have them and you can find them randomly. I also have a mod for a salt mine, so you can come across random salt mines. But the cooking thing is so fun. It's one of my favorites. If you have a quick look at all these fun things I've been making, I have quite a lot of food, but cabbage soup there, garlic bread, who doesn't love cheesy garlic bread? Mammoth cheese bowl, I'd love to try that one day in real life. Lots of salmon meat, very good for the hair, good protein there. So wine, always have one now. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give one to my favorite follower.
Did you want something?
I'm going to regret this,
Very thoughtful of you.
but let's do it. Just keep her busy while I'm trying to talk to you. So that's the first thing. The food mechanics become useful and actually essential. And you can have so much fun cooking stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love it. All right, so that's food.
How could I possibly say no?
Next thing is sleep. Again, sleep never seemed like anything that important in my first playthroughs. Yeah, you get experience buffs the next day if you have a good night's rest, yada yada yada. But not only do you, if you can see at the bottom left of the screen there, I'm actually starting to run out of magic because I'm tired, and the screen shortly will start to go fuzzy if I don't rest soon. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was not a good idea. I'm going to leave her to it. So it's also good for planning. Like if you get to a town and it's like this time right now, so late evening, you don't need to go on adventures because the survival mode, it's colder at night. That's another thing as well, the cold. Sorry, why did I do this? Why I'm trying to do a serious video and I've gone and oh look, and there's some quarry there you can hunt. So it's good to just chill and take in the fun of the town. You can upgrade some armor, you can visit a tavern, You can hang out at a player home. You can watch Sofia wandering around drunk. Lots of fun things to do while you wait till morning and use advantage of the sleep. The last thing, though, is the lack of fast travel. And also when things start to get cold, like it's doing right now, you have to really plan out your adventures. You have to really know where you're going. You have to really be careful, because if you go out up by Winterhold or the back of Solitude, where it's very cold, you can get into a lot of trouble. You have to bring hot food.
Stop embarrassing me. Everyone is looking at us. It must be you. It couldn't possibly be me.
So you really have to plan out where you're going, and when you're using no fast travel, you have to use horses, you have to use carriages, you have to use boats, you can walk everywhere. You really get a sense of just how big this world is and how everything fits into it. Like the player homes, the homesteads. It's really interesting visiting them via horse, because then you actually get an understanding of where they are. It's hard to explain, but I was doing it today. I was coming from Dawnstar and going to one of my player homes, and it was actually really interesting to see exactly where it is on the map, how it fits into the rest of the environment. Anyway, those are just my tips for survival mode: food, rest, being conscious of the weather, and planning out adventures, especially if you're going into cold areas, bringing lots of hot food. And the no fast travel. I think the no fast travel is fascinating. There was a funny thing on the stream yesterday. This is how we got into this conversation. I was going from, I'll show you on the map. So I was going from my player home here, Jack and Hall, and I just wanted to go to Snowflake Manor. And between there, I got into a fight between Stormcloaks and the Imperials, into a civil war. There was a troll attack around about here. There was a Dawn Guard were chasing me around about here, all in this one strip. When I used to DM for Dungeons and Dragons, when I was a Dungeon Master in Dungeons and Dragons, I used to always find that the most fun was had going to an adventure, going to a cave, going to a location. Sometimes it was more fun than the actual location itself. So, there we go. Those are my thoughts. Try survival mode. You can turn it on and off. So just try it for an hour, see what you feel. But I've done this whole playthrough so far only using survival mode, and it has made this playthrough, I would say, 3 times as fun. I mean that, I'm not being facetious. It's made it 3 times as fun. Anyway, from Empress Ophelia and her crazy gang of femme fatales, all the best. Oh, and by the way, look at this guy. He's joining us on our adventures soon. I just made him in this wonderful player home, Balthazar's Workshop. There it is. Best €5 I ever spent. Wonderful little player home there. I'll explain more about that later. Alright, well, it's getting late. I guess I better go to sleep. In the game, of course. All the best.